Boom, welcome back to another episode of the Espresso Hour, where the running joke is this is going to be much shorter than an hour because we are once again hyped up on caffeine, even though it's what? 6:45?
6:48 p.m. It's Friday. It's been a long week.
Been a long week, but we've got some good plans tonight. We're going to be answering questions live from Twitter throughout the entire evening, so let's kick it off.
Start riding online. Start riding online, everybody. You never know where it could take you. Dickie, what makes you keep going? And do you ever feel burnt out by being productive every day and following a strict routine? No.
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 I mean, the quick answer is no, because I think the way we set up our routines are so that we could follow them forever. Another good one. How do you think about the other extreme of riding, the proverbial cabin in the woods for a year? Do you see yourself ever doing that?
I actually do.
I do too.
I actually do. I think there's going to be a point where I've made my money on the internet and I'm going to completely opt out, and you can catch me in a villa in the south of France somewhere, and I'm going to go full Hemingway mode.
I will be throwing my phone in a lake at some point and removing myself from the internet.
At some point. But for now...
no.
For now, we'll play the game.
But like a villa compound farmland in Argentina.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
With stakes, obviously.
My own steak, my own cattle.
Yeah.
An entire self-sustainable farm. Where will you be on this date in 10 years? The more epic, the better.
I can tell you exactly where we're going to be. Probably going to be on a yacht off the coast of Croatia. Mm-hmm. There's at least an 80% chance that the only thing that I'm wearing is a swimsuit. And I think it might be phone in lake territory. 10 years from now? That's a long time.
I'll be 37.
I'll be 43? 44? Yeah, I'm going to be done by then, for sure. Actually, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
I mean, where were you 10 years ago? Think about that. So you were 22, 23?
10 years ago, I was in a studio apartment with no air conditioning and a heater from the medieval period. It had an open flame, and Alyssa can tell this story where the first time she came and stayed with me, I was like, good night, and we went to sleep, and my heater was like, do. And she was like, what was that? And I was like, don't worry, it's just my heater. Where were you?
I was 17, so I was a junior in high school. I had no clue what was going on. And that actually freaks me out, how much, when you're in mid-20s and you look back 10 years, you're like, you weren't really even alive.
No, you were just in the tutorial period of the game.
You literally were in the warm-up stages. And that hit me as I lapped the 1 year since leaving BlackRock. 1 year in the entrepreneurial game. Mm-hmm. Imagine 10 in that, because the amount of growth we had in the last year.
Yeah. 1 year in the entrepreneurial game is like you have just acquired your first piece of armor and your first introductory weapon, and you're just trying to figure the world out. Yeah. You know, you've done a lot in the first year. I'll tell you that.
But I've definitely seen there's people who are younger than me who've been playing the game longer, and I've learned to completely detach the idea of age from any kind of comparison, and purely look at years playing this game. 1 year into this, you can totally be patient on something like this, especially in a skill set that compounds exponentially each year and each year and each year.
Yep.
So I'm in no rush. Who knows what we'll be in 10 years though? It'll be somewhere epic. This is sweet. These are cool.
Yeah, these are cool. A little espresso hour in the car.
I mean, Russell Brunson's entire podcast was marketing in the car for 3 years.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
He would put his phone in there and talk about what he was learning about marketing.
Wow.
In the car. What service would you use to start a newsletter and build an email list from scratch, and why? And when I see these questions, it's someone thinking that they need to pick the right piece of software before they get started doing something. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, whatever I tell them, hopefully will just get them over the line to go and pick it. So Substack, just reply Substack. And that sometimes is all someone needs. It's like, oh, and I feel this way too. When I'm a little bit stuck on a decision, you can just make something up and tell me that's the answer, and that'll move me over the roadblock.
I mean, yeah, so to your point about starting to DJ or, people that make music, what's the first question everyone asks? What piece of software should I use? Mm-hmm. And then it's like, do I use Pro Tools? Do I use Logic? Do I use Ableton? Do I use whatever? And it's like, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Just pick one. I remember right before Substack started that I actually tried to create a paid newsletter by duct taping a bunch of things together because paid newsletters didn't exist yet. And that was such a great example of like, I spent a year duct taping together a paid newsletter, and then a year later, paid newsletters came out, and then I switched platforms.
Right.
You know, so it's like whatever, you don't need it.
Dinner time.